Welcome, friends. Welcome to today's Reconsider It live stream. Best live stream you're gonna see all day. And here on this live stream, you are gonna get a very nice hour of some improvised live looping, all vocals. We've already got the foundations of a beat here. Over the course of the next hour, I'm going to be building this up with more layers. We're going to bring in the synthesizer. We might even talk about stuff. Man, it's going to be so good. It's called Tinker Time. My regulars know what it is. My regulars such as Shaba, Shaba wishing us a happy January in the chat. We might talk about that a little bit on a stream today. If you are new to the Reconsider It live streams, welcome! You made the right decision joining us. We want you here. Friends, right now we are in a warm-up phase. We're in a warm-up phase. We are just getting ourselves situated. We are getting the blood flowing. We we are getting comfortable with the sound of this foundation of a beat. And here in this warm-up phase, I need to celebrate. I need to celebrate you. Thank you for being here. Whether you are here with us live in the chat, whether you are here with us live but you are not in the chat, whether you are here with us after the live, you are watching on replay. However it is that you are here with us, thank you for being here. I am going to celebrate you at this time in this way. I have got my drink. I'm going to count to 3, and I'm going to... You are invited to join the rest of us as we cheers along and celebrate our togetherness. And it all begins on 1, 2, oh man, 3, clink, cheers, my friends. Oh man, that's good. Oh, that's the good goodness. That's just like the kind of goodness that you're always wanting. You're always looking forward to. You're always needing that kind of good, that good goodness. You're like, man, I'm looking forward to the next time I get to have that good goodness. I love doing this with you. Please like this video. Please subscribe. I could use some subs. Please share this video with a friend who would like it. Friends, my friends, my closest, dearest friends. Friends, this is the first stream of 2026. We have achieved our goal of being well in excess of 600 subscribers. Yes! Thank you. We did it. We did it, friends. We did it together. Friends, we have got a Tinker stream on our hands. And that's really good. That is good news. And of course, where to begin? Where to begin with this beat building and fun having online hangout session? Where to begin with this? Well, you know. My regulars know. I'm gonna begin by adding some more to the percussion. Trust us. yes, you knew that. Trust those in the place. I had to bust flows in your face. You had to gut check, yeah, get that butt, and yes, had to wreck that, yeah, check it, respect that. You had to get raps, you never had to just fend for that. Check it, I bend back and do that, I lend it fast. When I did it, you had to ask nicely for it twice, see? Cause my rhymes be what it's like to keep some kind of addiction. My rhymes are within this. You get with it, check it, I rip this. Yeah. We got a little bit more percussion at this time. We also got a little bit more as well. Now that Victor has joined us. I see right now. Whoa. Right now in the chat. Probe says, yo! Can you put any kind of effects? Can I put any kind of effects on the loopers? The answer is yes! These things are like only effects. I can put effects independently on the two different loopers, but any effects that I apply will apply to the whole looper. Like it's effects on the net output, it's not effects per loop. So for example, on the bottom looper here, if I want to put, there's just dry. Drums, by the way. That's what I'm doing. Just the dry drums here. But I could turn up reverb. It's for all of them. It's reverb for the entire thing. But it's only reverb for the bottom looper, because that's what I'm applying it to. The reverb doesn't apply to the bass. And if I wanted to, I could disable certain tracks from having the effects. So like, for example, I just took it off the hi-hats, but I kept it on the kick. So you have some control and power over things. Some of those things I would want to preset if I wanted to use them in a certain way. You could do those things on the fly, but that's probably a little bit more low level than I would want to do on the fly. I would want to configure those things, but save them, and then use them from the saved configuration. Probe says, could you put some phasers, flangers, or delays on the percussions? I certainly could. So like right now I put the reverb on, but I could change that to be... There's a couple different types of delay, but here's one. Ugh. It was set to milliseconds. I'm changing it so that it's going to be set to... Top looper, I think, is set to triplets. No. Dotted eighth note. There. So now we have a little bit of a delay. I mean, it's a lot of delay, actually. So now we have a ton of delay in the percussion. And there's other things too, a flanger or a phaser, they do have those things. Here's a phaser. Oh, that's pretty dope, actually. A phaser. Wow. I am really happy with this. This is really dope. Probe says, how many effects can you apply at once? So there's input effects and output effects. You can stack multiple, and they stack in an order. So you can use that to your advantage. I hope you caught that. I don't know how much that came through. That very lovely burp I just burped. Hopefully that came through on the mic very, very clearly. Anyway, regarding effects you can apply, on the lower looper here, which is the Mark I, there are up to 3. Which you can see on the camera here. These 3 buttons. These like gray colored buttons. They apply left to right, so if I wanted to apply, you know, here, this, like, vinyl scratch thing. That vinyl scratch sound. I could apply that, and then it could feed into the phaser. That kind of thing. Wow. So up to 3. On the lower looper. On the top looper, there's up to 4. So, I mean, like, I'm ready to just spout off about how much more awesome the top looper is compared to the bottom one. The Mark II is more awesome than the Mark I. Can you believe it? The second generation thing where the manufacturer, you know, applied a lot of lessons learned and increased functionality and such. Can you believe the Mark II is better than the Mark I? Wow. There's so many good ways. Oh, it's so much better. It's so much better. Oh my goodness. It's so much better. Yeah, that phaser is pretty nuts. Probe says, try this out. Put a phaser and then that delay that you had earlier. Okay, here's the phaser. That's the phaser. Now I'm gonna pass it into the delay. Oh man. You know what? You know what this is? So this is cool by itself. Just the fact that Probes is here coming up with all sorts of like new techniques for how I can mess around with how things sound on the drums. This comes just in time for Jamuary. If you're not familiar with Jamuary, It's a music project for January, the month of January. Oh man, what is it? Petite Victory Collective, I believe is their name. In conjunction with Hardware Jams. My regulars know how I talk about Hardware Jams not infrequently. And many of my regulars are also hardware jammers, so you know. But Petite Victory Collective, every year in conjunction with Hardware Jams, puts on Jamuary, where they have a month-long everyday challenge. And the songs are, or rather the challenges are to make a song with some restriction or criteria or what have you. I looked through the month. There are 5 that appeal to me. One of them is percussion. Just do percussion. Nothing beside percussion. And so now, if I have all of this, I have all these new toys now for how to mess with drums. That could come in handy. Maybe I'll play with that a little bit. Can you imagine? Imagine if I did like a 10-layer drum thing. I'm not saying I'm going to do that, but that'd be pretty nuts if I did. It's good to do this tinkering here and messing with stuff, because there are some ways that my various palettes, my 36 different palettes that I have of sound effects, there are some ways that they're either too uniform or that it's just been a while since I messed with it. And the output effects are in that category, I would say. I have a couple of standards I like for my output effects. But it is suitable for me to mess with that a bit, because I can easily go to these certain things I'm thinking of. Like I generally have here a low-pass filter set for the drums, but I changed that to the phaser for this experiment we were doing. But the filter's really easy to get to, so I could keep the filter there, ready to turn to it, but set up the effects with the phaser. That delay is dope. It's so nice when I just like really nail the, I don't know what you call that. Is that syncopation? I don't know what that is exactly. But it's nice when I nail that. It's like, oh, they're just like lining up with each other. My regulars may recall, in the most recent stream, I shared how I had gotten cupping therapy that day. And I was eating bananas and drinking a lot of water. Still eating the bananas. And I've also still got all those marks, all those circles all over everywhere. Supposedly they're going to last for up to 10 days. And that's like totally expected. Okay. That'll take me through, I guess, a week from today, because it's only been 3 days. Right? 3 days. So I mentioned earlier that one of the January prompts that looked like, well, I can do that, was the one that was do percussion. It's like, well, percussion is my main thing in music, so do a song that's all percussion, I can do that. I can swing that. There's another one I saw that was do no percussion. I was like, okay. Also likely to be somewhat straightforward of a challenge. One of them was do some unusual time signature, which I love. That is quite possibly my favorite thing in music, is unusual time signatures. So I might do that one. And there was two more. I forget what the other two were. But I might be putting those out. We'll see if I can make the time to put together, what was it, 5 songs? Like all of a sudden, two of them are this coming week. Like, oh boy. But on the other hand, since they are just very explicit, overt technical challenges, do no drums. That removes an element of decision making on my part, which can expedite the whole process. Tone Smith says, for me, doing January means doing all of it. I think that is what it really is. Like, that's what it's meant to be. It's supposed to be that you do every day you do a jam. There's no way I could do that, just logistically speaking. There's a 0% probability that I can make a song every single day. But yes. We're talking January and it does not bring stress, but rather it divests what I wish to invest in. Check it, yes, this is what I get bent with. I mean, then it is really dope when I wreck it. When I'm setting some records. Check it, I bet you're for sure gonna tune into this, cause the music is sick when the groove is so twisted. Like this, check it, yes, I get with it. It's mad sick, kid, you want me to rip it? And I oblige, check it, I rhyme upon this dope beat that we made today. Check it, hey, I may play this game, okay? I could get some RA to do P's. And check it, hey, believe I bring it dopely. Check it, you know the whole flow is so C, or rather so sick. Check it, yes, I'm seasick. When I get with it, we get all of this and I break it quick. Yeah, I come down with it nicely. Check it, why did I rhyme, please? Did I get it? You might keep your whole mind free, which is why I try the whole technique. Check it, yo, I get and I wreck it sweetly, which I did, and I do, and I lose, and I move. But anyway, yeah, talking about January with Petite Victory Collective and Hardware Jam. If you're not familiar with either of those or both of those are good ones to look up. They, I believe Tone is right that the point of January is to do all of them, but as I say, there's just a 0% chance I would do them all. But, you know, I saw that there was 5. I'll see if I could do that. Tone says a couple years ago, the past couple of years more specifically, that he did, in the years 24 and 25, he did like a 2-minute-ish long song every day, and it could be kind of stressful. Oh, totally. Yeah, some of the challenges, I wouldn't even know how to do them, let alone how to do them within the time constraints. Since they're published ahead of time, you could do them ahead of time, I think. I mean, it's not like hardware jams where you have to do it that weekend. I think you just go do it and you can release them once a day. That's what I was expecting to do for my 5 that I'm thinking about. I'm just going to do them all. I might even do them all this weekend. I don't know. Trusto says he has to run. I'm getting caught up on that was 4 minutes ago. I'm so timely here with the chat. I'm timely with the chat. I'm rhyming, in fact, is dope. Check it, it's fat, and yo, people need to use fat with a PH more. We need to bring that back, of course. That's not for dorks. That's for the cool people. Probe says music and pressure to make it are odd bedfellows. I agree in one sense, and I challenge that in another sense. I agree in the sense that, like, creativity should be permitted to occur at its own pace and, within its own parameters and all of this to get the purest expression, I guess. While at the same time, putting restrictions on a creative flow can make really interesting outcomes. Like poetry done according to certain meters and such rather than totally freeform all the time. I bring this up sometimes. My regulars may have heard this before. My regulars may have heard this story before, or not really a story, but what I'm about to describe is my favorite form of collaborating that I've done. I guess to be more precise, it is a collaboration project. Like the point of it was the collaboration itself. And it was just really cool. Every time we did a project, it was such a good experience. I would love to do something like this again. Here's what we did. It was a collective of like 30 or 40 musicians who could all be described in one way or another as experimental or etc. Something along the lines of unconventional or just like unique or avant-garde or, just kind of weird or proper experimental, like in the strictest definition of the word. But it was like 30 or 40 of us. And the way we would do a project was like this. Somebody would initiate one. It wasn't like it was on a schedule once a month. Like, it was nothing like that. But it was just somebody was like, hey, we're doing this. Who's in? And of the 30 or 40 people, you would usually get at least like 4 or 5 people who'd be in. And what does it mean to be in for a project? Well, here's what we would do. It was so cool. We would, identify who was going to be in. All right, it's going to be the 5 of us. And then the 5 of us would start on a certain day. Be like, all right, we're going to start the project on whatever day. Monday, the first of the month. Then each person starts writing one layer of a song. Oftentimes, everybody would be writing drums. But it didn't have to be. You didn't have to start with drums. Just you were going to write something. And you would write the whole thing in 3 days. You got 3 days to write your layer. So we started on Monday. Everybody had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to write what would be the first layer of a song. And then we would rotate. So like person 1 would get the drum track from person 2, or the first track. And person 2 would get the first track from person 3, and so on. You just shift it over. So everybody is now going to add one more layer on top of somebody else's layer. And all you pass around beats per minute, the key that it's in, you share that information. We used to upload just the full stem, the full drum layer or bass layer or whatever. Anyway, so you get the idea. So everybody would get 3 days and then shift, 3 days and then shift, 3 days and then shift. And by the time we're done, we have, like a little EP of 5 songs where everybody contributed one layer to each song, but it was a different layer in each song. Sometimes they'd be instrumental, sometimes somebody would put some vocals. It was awesome. That group put out like 30 albums or so, or something like that. And some of it was just completely unlistenable garbage. It was terrible. And it was like, I don't care how much of a like open mind you want to have about like, oh, but no, it's like it's exploring this, you know, musical angle. No, some of it was just absolute trash, because you would definitely, you know, you would get sometimes conflicts. Like anytime you put a bunch of musicians in the room, some kind of ego conflicts are going to come out of that. And so there was some of that. So there would be some songs where it's like, you know, the person who put down the, I don't know, what was supposed to be kind of like a mild rhythm guitar layer wound up being this like really intense thing that was trying to do mini solos and things. It's like, okay, man, like you're supposed to be part of the background infrastructure here. But even though sometimes the tracks were like unlistenable trash, sometimes they were pretty good. Sometimes you'd be like, you know what? This actually is pretty dope. And then sometimes we got the most just amazingly glorious, like once in a lifetime work of art. It was awesome. There was like just awesome shit came out of that project, as well as unlistenable trash. But the awesome stuff, man, that was so worth it. So that, like I said, that group had something like 30 albums or what, I don't even know. And some of them were only like a 5-song EP, like I described. But other times it's like a, you know, a 13-song album or however many, I don't know, 12 songs maybe. They had a couple compilations. It's no longer online though. I wish I could point you to it. Actually, I just Googled it. If you look up CD Zabu, so like the two letters CD, and then Zabu, Z-A-B-U. It's all one word, CD Zabu. It looks like they have a Reverb Nation page with one of the like the later albums, because the group disbanded like 15 years ago or something. I don't know. It's like this was an old project, but it does look like one of our. It could be. This might even be the last album. Is up on the Reverb Nation page. They've got, looks like there's a SoundCloud page. This is definitely it on SoundCloud. So yeah, if you look up CD Zabu on SoundCloud, you'll find this looks like a selection of many of the albums. All right, that's cool. There's a lot of chat here I need to get caught up on. What's happening in the chat here? I've been talking about CD Zabu forever. All right, I'm getting caught up here. All right, from like 13 minutes ago. Let me get caught up. The Observer of Thought. Tone Smith says, bars. Yeah, I'm really dialing it up in the past couple of weeks. I've been dialing it up with the freestyle raps on the live streams. I want to really put more focus on that. I'm starting to bring in a little bit more music theory on the keys, just some basics. I plan to continue doing more music theory on the keys. I want to start bringing in more, well, I mean, I'm already doing it. I want to continue bringing in more freestyle raps. Tone Smith says, going back to the January thing, having a deadline made me churn it out. And Probe says, well, you know, counterpoint, devil's advocate, nobody asked Da Vinci to just churn something out. There's definitely different, you know, dimensions to this. There is a purpose, or there is a skill in being able to churn something out at a certain skill level, while at the same time there's also the inspired kind of art that is not necessarily something you churn out, but rather what you receive. You receive uniquely through inspiration. But not paradoxically, but rather I would say like complementarily, question mark? Complementarily. You can only do those higher forms of like unique receiving of inspiration. You can only do those if you are well strong with the more routine levels of just skill and technique that you can just churn things out. So being able to churn things out is like, you know, maybe not the source of the legendary inspired works, but it could be. It also could be. But it does, you know, make the artist into a stronger artist. That's what all these hardware jams and, you know, Jamuary, that's what these are all about, really, in my mind. This is about just like making you a stronger artist. Challenging you to refine a technique, to step outside of what you would have thought to do, to sort of put you in a position where you need to come up with a response in a way you ordinarily wouldn't have on your own. I love that kind of stuff. It's so cool that these communities exist. I wish there was like a 1,000 other communities like this. I'm not aware of any. If you're aware of some, please let me know. Where they have weekly or monthly or annual challenges like this. Musician challenges. Doesn't strictly have to be a hardware type of thing. Although that's what I would be doing. Tone Smith says... No, he didn't say cough cough, that was me. Tone Smith says... I was looking for a reason to make something daily. So it's kept me more musically active. And I've met people in these music communities. Yeah, you know, I never would have had any idea about these synth communities or producer communities that exist on YouTube. I never thought of YouTube as a social media platform. It is one, but it's not. That's generally not how I think of it. I don't think of it like comparable to Facebook in that way, or Instagram or what have you. But yeah, these communities are dope. The SOAR community has popcorn night weekly. Yep. They don't put any restrictions of any sort, but they do provide a platform for sharing a new song, so they can like motivate you a little bit in that way. I like how Hardware Jams gives everyone the same challenge, so we listen to 4 or 5 hours sometimes of I don't even know how, like 40, 50 songs or something, but they're all like variations on a common theme. I like that. I don't think you strictly need that. There's a place for the popcorn night approach as well, where it's not necessarily a theme, but it's just like, your friend's new song. I think it's cool how low the bar is to being a musician. Mad years ago, I mean, not even mad years ago, within our lifetime, you say like 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago, it was not extremely easy for just anyone to start making music. What are you gonna do? Get a guitar? Get a synthesizer? Okay. Are you gonna also, let's say you get a guitar. Are you gonna get a guitar and also the synthesizer and also, I don't know, some kind of drum set and also do some kind of bass guitar and also and then also record it and produce it? There's a lot that went into that. And that was not something that was, I mean, you could do it, but it was kind of a high bar. Nowadays, it's pretty easy. You got your computer, and that's about all you need. You certainly can do hardware and stuff as well, but it's a very low bar to being able to start making music. You could do it purely with synthesizers, or software. Not, that is to say, as opposite of hardware. So I think it's a net good, because there's always been a low bar to other arts, like being an artist, a drawer, somebody who draws, or a painter. Painter's a little more expensive than just being like a pencil artist, but it's still a pretty low bar, and it always has been. Music, though, it's only recently that it's a low bar, and I think that's good. I think it's a net good. Tone Smith says, shout out to being able to just have fun making music with cool friends. I agree. That is cool. There's something, where do I start? I'm interested. I'm glad you bring that up. But Tone brings up the idea of just having fun making music with friends. At some point in the past year, I realized something else about music. Because that has historically been maybe not my main attitude, this idea of just have fun with it. It's not necessarily been my main attitude, but it's been a theme in my attitude toward music, is that it should be fun and enjoyable, at least for the artist. But I don't know, some point in the past year I started thinking about another element to being a musician, something that's more functional. And it's like I can do it even if I'm not having fun with it. So for me, that was something of a new idea. FYI. No action required at this time. Tone Smith says there's also something called Inktober. Probe says getting all the equipment to be a musician was very expensive. I'm glad, Probes, you're here to lend that experience and to be the voice of that experience. Probe says, going back to the purer form of art, part of the process is this finessing and distilling. To the point where it's complete in the creator's mind. I like how you bring up this theme of sculpture, Probes. I sometimes liken music, more specifically lyrics, when I'm writing lyrics. I often liken them to sculpting. If I'm writing lyrics, more so than if I'm just doing some freestyle junk like earlier. When I'm writing lyrics, I do experience it, even in a synesthetic kind of way. You're familiar with synesthesia, right? Synesthesia is the phenomenon where you have multiple senses somehow blend together and cross wires in this way that people seem to be unable to quantify very easily. But I experience synesthesia in a variety of ways. Music or sound can have a spatial presence, like a three-dimensional volume to it, a shape, or a texture. I have associations between numbers and colors. For example, the numbers 3 and 4 in my mind are paired with the colors red and green. It's not that 3 is red and 4 is green. It's that 3 and 4 are red and green, and 2 and 5 are blue and orange, and 1 and 6 are yellow and purple. So I have that in my head. And so that's, synesthesia is sort of like that. It's these pairings, these sort of like communicating between nerves or neural networks or neural pathways that are not always connected in most people. So in this synesthetic type of way that I do experience, one of the kinds of synesthesia I experience is when I am writing rap, when I'm writing some rap lyrics, it does feel to me as though I am discovering the rap more so than I'm authoring it. So it feels like what I liken it to is this whole sculpture theme that keeps coming up here. It feels to me like I don't know who originally said this, but you sometimes hear the quote of some famous sculptor, a person who makes with the sculpting. Some famous sculptor said something along the lines of the following. My paraphrase of the telephone tag version of whatever he actually said. Something to the effect of in the block of marble, there already is a, there's an elephant that's already in the marble. I'm just clearing away everything that is not the elephant. And when I'm writing rap lyrics, it feels like that to me. It feels like I'm like discovering the rap. I'm discovering what words come next in this sequence here, more so than I'm authoring them. I shouldn't say it's always like that, but that's a common experience I have when I'm writing some raps. There's some lamenting going on in the chat. If I had greater resources, greater financial resources, I could have had more, let's say equipment. Man, I could have been so much further along. Yeah. Probably everyone has something that they say that about. Because my thing that I did musically was my voice, my vocals. I rapped, or I did beatboxing a little bit, playing around with it here and there. Until I got these loopers, I never really spent any money on my music. I had a computer, I was able to do some music production, okay, but I never had to go spend thousands and thousands of dollars on all these gear and everything. I never had to do that. So for me, I don't have to say something like, oh, if only I'd had more money for gear, blah, 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 blah. I have, like, my area where I say, if only I had blah, I say it's more on the business side of things. If only I'd had more business type resources. And that includes things like having the right social network to more readily and easily connect with and get feedback from my real, like, truest audience, the people who my stuff resonates with, and I can get feedback and say, oh, maybe that wasn't the best thing, maybe I should head in this direction, and that kind of, like, I've generally, for most of my music making existence, it's been literally in a room by myself. These live streams are probably the primary way that I get feedback of any kind. So that's one way that I say, like, oh, I really had a paucity in my musical artist development. I experienced a chronic dearth of just, like, connectedness with other people. And of course that has other implications for things like, how easy is it to get a gig? You don't usually get gigs by cold calling the venue and saying, I want to play at your venue. Usually it has to be, the person, or you already have an extensive history of existing gigs that you can point to. But if you don't have those things to start, that's what I'm saying. I was a little bit in the poverty-stricken dimension there. And other things too, like, mentoring somebody to coach me or guide me through, like, how to do anything more than just kind of do some navel gazing as an artist. Just like, yeah, I just kind of like making this stuff as a hobby. Just in my room making this stuff. I never received any kind of coaching or mentoring to take it a step beyond that and make it into more of a, not necessarily a business, But yes, that too. Making it to more of like professional. So that's the area that I was lacking, that I look at and I'm like, oh, damn. If only I had, insert thing here, then I could have been so much more developed in my presence as an artist. Which for me, I see myself primarily as a performer before a musician. I see myself as a performer before a musician. And before a lyricist, too. I see myself as a performer before a lyricist. And a lyricist before a musician. So because I'm a performer, part of what I need is stage time. You can't perform in a room by yourself. You could rehearse in a room by yourself, but part of performance is the, exchange with the audience. So, I sometimes, I was just thinking about this yesterday. I forget exactly what I was watching, where I got this impression. But I had a sense of like, it's frustrating that I didn't know someone who knows someone who knows someone. It's frustrating that I didn't know the right people that I would have been able to be part of this, project, or have a what's the opposite of a mentor? Apprentice, like an apprentice type of music project to work on and kind of like learn the ropes. So that's my lamenting. That's my poverty story. It's more of a social poverty. A poverty of social connectedness. Tone Smith says, synesthesia is wild. Yeah, some people know what it is, but don't experience it. I know someone who, she's upset that she doesn't experience it. I think it's okay if you don't experience synesthesia. Also, you might experience synesthesia but not realize it. You might just think that's how things are. And you don't know that that's unique to you, or unique to some very small minority of people. Apparently, some of the ones that I listed off earlier are not uncommon. Like musicians experiencing music as having three-dimensional properties, shape and form and texture. Or what was the other one? There was another one that I listed earlier that is apparently a common one. I forget. Numbers, like words and colors or something along those lines is another common form of synesthesia. I like exploring the sense of touch, by which I do not necessarily mean like sensations on my skin. That's not what I mean when I say exploring the sense of touch. I mean exploring your sense of feelings. So like reaching out with your feelings through your heart. That's what I mean. Exploring that sense of touch. Can you feel things? Feel things that are happening right now. Some experience you're having where you're deeply connecting with either the person or the circumstances. Can you feel things that are maybe not necessarily happening right in front of you? can you deeply feel what someone else is experiencing or describing, but you're not necessarily experiencing or describing. I see that Probes is chiming in with like the real art. What makes a real artist? I'm so happy to see this in the chat right now. Still talking about the idea of like, oh, if only I'd had more financial resources, I could have had so much more development as an artist. Probe says, poverty can make you resourceful, such as having I assume this is a very simple piece of equipment. I don't even know what he says. Probe says a Yamaha CX5. I don't know what that is. Is that a very simple, like, beginner synth? But in any case, using what you are limited to and being clever about it. That's what Probes is really saying. Which is like, yes, now we're talking. Now we can get into some real, like, philosophy of being an artist. In some sense, that is the heart of what an artist is and what an artist provides. Like, what is creativity? What is creativity? There is an aspect of creativity that is creative expression. So that's there. That's a real thing. Creative expression, your personal flavor. But the higher forms of creativity, the highest forms of creativity, generally are in response to some kind of need or problem. That's what creativity is for. Creativity is for the purpose of, in some way, responding or addressing to a need of some kind. That's why creativity exists in reality. Why do we have creativity? Why don't we just have, like, everything is permanently set in stone forever and there is no such thing as a new thing being invented? Well, the reason is because there's all sorts of needs. There's all sorts of things that need to happen. And if you just stuck with what we have right now, you would never get those needs met. And so humanity has this capacity, this seemingly unique capacity to interface with creativity. We were talking about this on, was it the most recent stream or was it 2 streams ago? One of the most recent streams, we went into this a fair amount. The idea of, like, what is originality? How is it that humans have this thing? Most people understand at this point that AI cannot bring originality. It can only bring, like, a very clever rearranging of existing data. But there is such a thing as creativity. There is such a thing as originality. So, creativity is in response to a need. And the artist may or may not always know on a conscious level, on an intellectual level, that they can articulate. They may or may not know exactly what the need is. It may be their own need. It may be in response to someone else's need. It may be in response to some kind of, like, need of society. That's generally the most successful forms of art. Have some kind of quality like that. They're like, They're useful for others. Society has a reason to remember this art. Probe says that the what I quoted earlier, the Yamaha CX-5, that was part of his chat. Probe says that is the music computer. I did not know that. The music computer. So just having to get creative with the resources it gives you to make it sound like it's more than it really is. Yeah. It allows you to make your own sounds, it sounds like. That's cool. Friends, speaking of making your own sounds, we have made our own sounds here in this beat, here on this stream. I like how this came out. Got a good beat here. I also like the discussions. Man, you know that I love that stuff. You know that for me, my favorite streams are the ones where we get into that kind of like philosophical meanderings. So thank you for being here for that experience today. We are going to have a closing cheers moment. My regulars know that these come so much faster than the opening cheers. You really got to be ready for these. You got to have your drink within reach, because it's just going to come so fast on 1, 2, 3. Clink. Cheers, my friend. Oh, that's good. Oh, man, it's so good. I love connecting with you like this. It's so much better with you here. Please like this video. Please subscribe. I can use them. Please share this video with a friend who would like it. I hope to see you in the next live stream. My regulars know we get together multiple times a week to do these streams where we hang out, we play on the loopers and the synth. When we're talking about stuff, that's called Tinker Time. Other times we go totally instrumental. No speaking at all. That's called unspoken. Right now at the top of the screen, we have the expected stream dates each week. Stream days. Eastern U.S. time zone. We got Sunday at 1 p.m., Tuesday at 9 p.m. Those are just the expected days each week. But we also do another 2 or 3 days each week beyond that. It could be any day, it could be any time. Enable notifications so that you can join us for those unexpected, unscheduled streams. And whenever it is that you join us next. Until then, please have a very good rest of your day today. Please allow the rest of your day today to bring you all manner of goodness and blessing today. Please experience healing today. Please experience miraculous healing that exceeds what should be possible today. Please become receptive today. Please receive broadened horizons today regarding what is possible for you to experience in your life. Please allow yourself to expand into entirely new realms and regions today. Please allow doors to be open for you today. And I will see you in the next Reconsider It live stream.